Greetings YouTubers and welcome to my 45th TTM video, where today I will share with you 3 TTMs I've gotten in the mail, 1 yesterday and 2 today. I'll also give a few shout outs as well to some great channels. First I want to start off with a, say as Mr. Tony would say, a melancholy happy trails to this man. I'll hold it up. He passed away today at the age of 67, and that's Leon Spinks. Some of you might not know who Leon Spinks is. That's okay. That's why I'm here to tell you about him. Just a little bit. Leon Spinks won a gold medal at the 1976 Olympics in Montreal, Canada, in the light heavyweight division as a boxer. He was from St. Louis. He had 7 professional fights, and in February of 1978 in Las Vegas, Nevada, at the Hilton, in his 8th professional fight, he upset then heavyweight champ Muhammad Ali. It was a big shock. Leon didn't train that much, but he trained enough to beat the greatest. Leon is also a former member of the United States Marine Corps. In his rematch with Muhammad Ali, which was to take place in New Orleans, Louisiana in 1978, he was supposed to fight Ken Norton, the #1 contender, but he didn't. He took Ali and got more money for that, so he was stripped by the WBC of their version of the heavyweight championship, which was given to Ken Norton. And Leon didn't train really at all for his rematch against Ali, and he lost a very close fight in New Orleans. And that was pretty much the highlight of his boxing career as a pro. It went downhill from there. He had a lot of fights. His brother Michael also won a gold medal at the 1976 Olympics, and his brother Michael, also would go on to become light heavyweight champion of the world and heavyweight champion of the world when he upset Larry Holmes in 1985. Leon had a lot of problems with drugs, and he was very trusting of a lot of people, lost a lot of money. He was very famous for that smile where he was missing his 2 front teeth. And one night he was robbed in a motel room where they stole his money and even stole his teeth. That was kind of sad. But this was the cover of Sports Illustrated in February of 1978. Get it out of the glare there. Where he won the heavyweight title. It just says simply Leon on it. There's a big smile there. And he signed it. Met him at a few signings in the years. So he was a good signer. Really good to the crowd. So 67, he passed away. Another one was Grant Jackson, who passed away this past, about last week. Great pitcher for the Pirates, played for the Yankees. And I sent something out a couple of months ago and haven't heard back, so I don't know if I'll obviously not get it back now, but that's okay. I didn't have any pictures of him because I sent one out. But he was a great pitcher, won Game 7 of the 1979 World Series, so long to those men. And now let's get to something a little bit more cheerful, some shout-outs. Let's start off with the first one here. It is FYER Box Breaks. Great channel, does a lot of breaks. You want to check them out. You might like them. I liked them. Subscribe to him. Catch his videos. Next up is Zach Sports Cards and Collectibles, another channel I just recently got to and really enjoy the content on that channel. So shout out to Zach Sports Cards. And also, number 3 is Beaver Breaks. They just hit 100 subscribers, so congrats to them. The gold jacket. Gotta have one when you hit 100 subs, I guess, as I said. But they're a good channel, do a lot of breaks there as well. And last, but certainly not least, veteran, as compared to those guys, I guess, is Eddy's Baseball Autographs. The famous hello, everybody. Can't do it. He does it a great way. But shout out to Eddy. Has a great channel as well. I got something in the mail. I won a contest and got a great package in the mail from a great channel. You probably all know who he is because he's got like almost 2,000 subscribers. And that is Hasek Cards. And the Project 2020 giveaway. Yes, like the box. Nice box. The card I won is a great one. Donnie Baseball, Mr. Don Mattingly. That is a great card. It's my first ever Project 2020 card. Can't stand up. Got his number there. It's the hitman on the subway train. I remember as a little kid, those were always graffitied in New York City when my dad took me into his job. But great card. Haas got a great channel. Thank you, Haas. And now let's get to the TTMs. Who did I get? I didn't get a ton. Some of these guys you might have heard of, some you may not have heard of, but after today, hopefully, you'll know who they are. First one took 10 days. There was no fee. Came from the state of Indiana. Sent 2 cards. And this gentleman signed them both. Former Notre Dame running back, Mr. Vegas Ferguson. Got him to sign the Upper Deck cards. One right there, 1977 national championship team he was on. Coach Dan Devine. Native of Indiana, Vasquero Diaz Ferguson, better known as Vegas, was born on March 6, 1957 in Richmond, Indiana. He's 63 years of age. Attended Richmond High School in Richmond, Indiana, and then attended Notre Dame. He was the most outstanding offensive player in 1978 in the Cotton Bowl Classic when Notre Dame defeated Texas 38-10. In 1979, he was an All-American and finished 5th in the Heisman Trophy voting in 1979. The eventual winner was Charles White of USC. He's 3rd all-time for total yards gained at Notre Dame among running backs, 3,472 total yards. He averaged 5.2 yards per carry, so he was a good back. That was back in the days when they ran the football a lot. And he also, again, as I said, played on the national championship team of 1977. In 1980, in the NFL draft, he was picked in the first round with the 25th pick by the New England Patriots. He played with the Patriots from 1980 to 82, and then with the Cleveland Browns for a season, and then finished up with the Houston Oilers. Love you blue, 1984. They're now known as the Tennessee Titans, for those that didn't know who the Oilers were. It was a long time ago. He played in 33 games in the NFL, started 21, had 290 rushing attempts, 1,163 yards. He averaged 4 yards a carry, scored 5 touchdowns. He had 26 receptions out of the backfield for 212 yards, about 8.2 yards in average. And he's a member of the Indiana Football Hall of Fame. So, the Golden Domer, that's my team in college. Fighting Irish. Thank you, Mr. Ferguson, for those 2 nice cards. And the second one is, get the old easel out, is an 8x10. Many of you probably not have heard of him. I didn't really hear of him until I looked him up and then decided to send him a picture. But this came from Connecticut. There was no fee. It was 7 days. And that's a former New York Jets backup quarterback. Got that glare there. Hopefully that's a little better. It's Mr. Al Woodall. Frank Alley Woodall. Goes by the name of Al. Born December 7th, 1945 in Irwin, North Carolina. He's 75. Attended Irwin High School in North Carolina and Duke University down there in Durham. In the 1969 NFL Draft, he was picked in the second round with the 52nd pick by the New York Jets, the defending Super Bowl champs. Played his entire career with the Jets from 1969 to 74, although you can see on the picture there it says 69 to 75, and I'll tell you about that after. He was basically picked up by the Jets to provide insurance for Joe Namath, who had bad knees while he was with the Jets. He had bad knees coming out of Alabama. He appeared in only 4 games in 1969 as a rookie, had 9 pass attempts for 4 completions, threw no touchdowns and 2 picks. But a year later, in 1970, Joe Namath was one of the owners of a bar club in New York City called Bachelor's 3. And a lot of famous people went there, movie stars, politicians, athletes, and also people connected to organized crime and gambling. Commissioner Pete Rozelle told Joe Namath he must get rid of his investment in the club or he's in trouble with the NFL. Well, Namath, at a teary-eyed press conference, said he couldn't do it and was going to retire from pro football. So the Jets had Woodall start taking first-team reps because they thought he was going to be the starter and Joe Namath was not coming back. But Namath eventually unretired and sold his interest in Bachelor's 3 and became the starter. But Joe Namath still had injury problems his whole career with the Jets. And Al Woodall started his first NFL game in 1970. It was against the Buffalo Bills, and the Jets lost 10-6. The Jets would lose the next two games, but pulled off a big upset in the next game after that, finally winning a game after losing those games in a row. They beat the Los Angeles Rams, a big powerhouse. They were coached by George Allen. Beat them 31-20. It's probably Woodall's best game. He went 10 of 17 through 3 touchdown passes. He started 5 games in 1971 and went 1-4. His only win, he defeated the Miami Dolphins as the quarterback. The Dolphins went to the Super Bowl that year and lost to the Cowboys in 1972. His whole career was 5-14 as a starter. While he was with the Jets, one of his roommates was a guy by the name of John Riggins, future NFL Hall of Famer, the Diesel. Went on to have a great career with the Washington football team. But Al Woodall said during training camp as a rookie, he learned so much from Joe Namath. So that's a class act right there. Joe Namath is the starter. He didn't fear this guy. He learned so much from him, but that backup, Babe Parilli, who was Namath's backup, really didn't teach him anything or talk to him much, tell him anything. Al Woodall finished his career with 18 touchdowns, 23 interceptions, 2,970 passing yards, and a passer rating of 60.3. He is an NFLPA advocate of teaching young football players to spend their money wisely and also have a nest egg once their career is over. After his career was over, he was also part of a class action lawsuit against the NFL on how it handled head injuries way back when. He always said the mentality of the day was to show how tough you were by playing through injuries. But he did say if he had to do it all over again, he has no regrets about playing in the NFL. Now, I asked him to sign in the letter I wrote him, could you please put your name and inscribe New York Jets 1969-74. And he wrote back very nicely there. He said, Ed, I put 69-75 because I was still with the team in 75 just on injured reserve. So I thank you for that, Mr. Woodall. Got 2 signatures there, but that's nice. 8x10 to Mr. Al Woodall, part of the JETS. And lastly, we'll show baseball. I got signed by one of the original New York Mets from 1962, Mr. Craig Anderson. I asked him to inscribe 1962 Mets, which he did very nicely. This took 14 days. It was from Florida. I did put $5 in for the ball. The only problem is on the top here. Hold it right there. There's a stain of some sort. I don't know how that came out. It looked like it was a piece of food, so I don't know if he was eating when he signed it or somebody touched it, but it wasn't there when I sent it. But that's not a problem. Mr. Anderson was also kind enough to send not 1, but 2 baseball cards that he signed in his Buffalo Bisons uniform, minor league team there. And very nice of him. He put 62 original Mets on both. Get both those guys in the picture there. So you probably never heard of him, but you're going to know who he is now. That's one of the things I've been trying to do this year, collect autographed baseballs of those that have been surviving from the 62 Mets, the original Mets, and the 60 World Series champion Pirates. Norman Craig Anderson goes by his middle name. He was born on July 1st, 1938, in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. 82 years of age. Used to live in that town, so I know where he went to high school. Anacostia High School, southeast part of the city. He played football, basketball, and baseball. When his high school career was over, he attended Lehigh University and played both varsity football and baseball there. He graduated in 1960 with a degree in business administration and eventually earned a master's degree, in business education from Southern Illinois University in 1966 down there in Carbondale, Illinois. He signed with the St. Louis Cardinals as an amateur free agent in 1960 and made his major league debut on June 23, 1961 with the Cardinals, his only season he played in St. Louis, because on October 10th, 1961, he was selected by the New York Mets in the 1961 expansion draft. Played with the Mets from 1962 to 64 when his career ended. It was on May 12th, 1962 that Craig Anderson was the winning pitcher on both ends of the first doubleheader the Mets ever won. That was against the Milwaukee Braves. From that point on, he then lost his next 16 decisions. His losing streak would eventually end at 19 games in a row. That's when his big league career ended in 1964. It was on May 31st he played his final game. The only other Met pitchers to record 2 wins in a single day are the great Willard Hunter, if you ever heard of him, and Jesse Orosco. So, you know you heard of him. The 62 Mets, the Amazons, the lovable losers, a lot of people liked them. You know, New York had some baseball back besides the Yankees. They had the worst record, I guess, of all time, 40 wins and 120 losses. So, quite a bit of losses, but a lot of people liked them. A lot of good books on that team. They were very funny. On September 18th, 1963, Craig Anderson was the losing pitcher in the last game ever played at the Polo Grounds in New York City when the Phillies beat the Mets 5-1. Finished his career with just 7 victories, 23 losses, a 5.10 ERA, and 94 strikeouts. After his retirement, he worked 34 years at Lehigh University, worked as a varsity pitching coach, worked in the administration, so he had a good career afterwards. Not the greatest career during it, but nice to get my first 1962 Met on a baseball, and he was nice enough to include these 2 cards, so you get a chance, send it on out to Mr. Anderson. He'll probably sign for you and hopefully send you a couple cards with it. I did have one more thing that I picked up this week, and it is a relic card. I can find it. I'll show it to you. There it is. Okay. This is a relic card. It's a bat card. Piece of a bat relic. And you say, oh, big deal, bat relic. But this is a bat relic. I found it interesting because it's a piece of bat that belonged to Randy Johnson. And normally you'd see like a glove or something or a piece of uniform or something like that. But I thought this was really interesting. A piece of his bat, game-used bat. There's Randy swinging a bat. So I like that. Add it to the old personal collection there. You know, don't see that too much. And again, we're getting close to 100. That should be 500 subs. Yes. Get my numbers right. I can't think straight. Getting close. About 20-something out now. And again, these are a couple of the pat prizes there. The Upper Deck 2021 Series 1 box and the Baseball Super 70s. And also 2 gift cards to eBay if you'd like to purchase something on there. So, appreciate everybody who has subscribed to this point. Really thank you all. It's been fun. Love all your channels. I try to watch as many as I can and comment as much as I can because everybody's got such great things going on, and it's just wonderful to see all the channels out there. If you like this video, you might want to hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, you might try to subscribe and hit the bell. Hopefully I'll have some more stuff coming up. If you didn't like it, I'm sorry. You can hit the like button anyway. Maybe I'll have something you'll like down the line there. I want to thank you all for watching again. Hopefully everybody's staying safe, doing well, getting more TTMs than I'm getting, I hope. It's real slow. Let's be kind to each other, one person at a time. Everything will get better. And tonight, we say goodnight to the great state of Kansas. Good night, everybody.